Hello, my name is Andrea, also known as Happy, the Crafty Ho Ho. Today we are I'm a part of a gratitude hop. This is my first time. I'm a little nervous. Hopefully, I do okay. But as you can see, I'm going to be creating a thank you card. And the stamp set that I'm using is by Gina K. I'm going to start off with this distressed cardstock. This is by Ranger. It's very thick. I really like it. So I'm just adhering it to my Misty. Not necessarily adhering it. I have a sticky mat in there, so just sticking to the Misty. And I'm going to use these Tim Holtz watercolor pencils. I pause because I keep saying crayons, and they're not crayons, they are pencils. He does have the crayons. The difference in the two is they both react to water, but these are watercolor where they actually blend as soon as it hits water. The crayons don't move. You have to move them yourself. All that fun stuff. But anyway, I'm using archival ink because archival ink is waterproof, and that's what I'm gonna need since I'm gonna be working with water. So here I am putting the stamp on the cardstock, um, and I'm about to ink it up. I'm going to ink it twice because the first time it comes out a little faded, as you'll see in a second. And the second time it's still faded, but it's much better. But I'm okay with that because in the end, I'm going to use my finish it off with VersaFine ink, which is just the richest black of all the inks I've seen so far. Personally, I've tested a lot. Doesn't mean I've tested them all, but that's what I've seen so far. So here I'm using some muscle, and I am getting a better impression. And so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to clean it up just a little bit. I won't show you the whole time. I'm going to definitely fast forward, but I do clean it up with just some water. And a lot of times I'll use my Hero Arts block scrubber. I don't show it in there, but that is the brush that I use to get majority of the ink off. It is amazing. All right, so here I turn the Misty towards me so that I can go ahead and um, see what I'm coloring from the angle that I need. I am left-handed, so you'll see me with the opposite hand of what you usually see, unless you're also left-handed. Then you'll be like, oh, yeah, she's a fellow lefty. 'Cause that's what I am. That's me. Um, but in any event, I am using techniques that I learned from Tim Holt. I've always loved watercoloring, but he showed how to like I'm just spraying onto my platform. I have a silicone mat. So I'm just spraying water directly onto that. And I'm gonna actually dip the crayon, which I'm sorry, see I said crayon again. I'm gonna dip the pencil into the water. Now that's a technique I haven't done, and also one I would be afraid of because I'd be afraid of melting my pencil. But Tim's never afraid of anything, and I did this with him, and I trusted him. He was virtual. We weren't together or anything like that. I say it like we were hanging out, but we weren't. But that's okay. But anyway, so I'm doing it like Tim did, and my pencil didn't melt, and everything was okay. Like my heart, my anxiety, everything was fine. So I'm doing the technique that he showed where he dips it in the water and he just pretty much dots around to color. And I did this in a session and I loved it. And so now I honestly I love coloring. I color with pretty much every medium that I'm not allergic to. That's another story. I do have a lot of allergies. But anyway, um, and I'm loving this medium. Alcohol markers I love as well. Watercolor's always been my favorite, but doing it with the pencils, um, I'm newer to. I've done it before, but now I have more techniques because he showed us like I don't know, like 5 or 6 different ways to use it with that. So right now that's the kick that I'm on. So that's what I'm playing with. And it's really you just dipping your pencil in the water and then you're just dotting and then you take whatever other color you want to use and dot it as well, and then you finish it off with a brush, and you wet the brush a little bit, and then you start blending all the colors, which I'm so in love with. What? Tim Holtz is just amazing. He has just become one of my favorite people. He probably always has been, but. Anyway, so I am finished with the coloring, and so now I am using that scrubber I'll talk to you about. See that? So I'm using the scrubber brush. This thing is amazing. I honestly, if you see the difference in what I do with just a regular like wipe or microfiber cloth versus what that scrubber does, it is amazing. It really does do a really good clean. Another thing you didn't see on screen is I'll spray my Misty with water when I'm sorry with alcohol when I'm done with it just to get the ink off of that. All right, so now I've finished it. I've finished the card. I did watercolor the background with like a light blue. So now I'm measuring it up with a Gina K. I can't remember which master layouts it is, but it's a Gina K die. I think it's 14. And just to get the framing and that stitched frame that I love so much. And so now I have run it through my die cutting machine. I have the Diamond Press. What's it called? The Diamond Press. Oh goodness, it's right here. Marquee, Grand Marquee. All right, I'm putting my die back, and I love this Grand Marquee die machine as well. It's thinner, so you can't get thick stuff through it, but that's okay. That's another story. But it's really really good. All right, so now I am adhering the card to a card front, like kind of sizing it up, centering it up, eyeballing it. And I'm using the Gina K Connect glue. That is one of my favorite glues as well. It's just so thick and it works. So now that I have it adhered, I love this technique. I learned this technique a long time ago from Gina K. She was doing it to show wood, but I've fallen in love with it and I have to do my edges. Most of my edges of most of my cards that I create, you will see me doing this type of effect on the edges. Now that was me testing the blue just to make sure it worked well with the colors in the card. Once I liked it, then I started. So this is the technique. Sometimes I get heavier handed. Sometimes with this one, I just wanted kind of a ghosting of the blue, not too much. But I love it. I love it. And when I put the card on it, you'll see how it just shows just a small amount of blue and it is just amazing. All right. So so and it's like I said, she does it with a wooding technique, but in any event, so I'm adhering the uh panel panel to the front of the card. I'm adhering it directly to it. Um and like I said, I use Connect Glue. I don't think I show that in here. No, I remember taking that out. But and look, the card is pretty much done. I'm putting my um magnets on the card. I do have the glass board desk. You can't see it because it has such a crazy glare. I had to hide it. But here is the final card. Um, and that's it. That's my card. That's what I created. Hopefully you liked it. But don't forget to follow other people in the hop. Please like, comment, subscribe. Um, every little thing you do helps. Thanks for watching. Ta-ta.